This is a GAF Multimedia production.
NIMASA this week. We are here today celebrating the Day of the Seafarers 2025, and we are in the city of Portharcourt. The theme of this year is celebrating the silent strength behind global trade, our seafarers. I remain your anchor, Moyoluwa Olutayo. Stay tuned as we begin the cruise.
very much. I also want to respectfully acknowledge, because today is the day for the seafarers, the National President, Nigerian Merchant Navy Officers and Water Transport, Comrade Bob Yusuf. It's my privilege to introduce this maritime icon whose career has not only broken barriers, but also charted a bold course for generations of Nigerian seafarers. He recently retired from the Nigeria LNG Ship Management Limited after 33 years of sojourn. His career is marked by many historic firsts, including becoming the first Nigerian to command an LNG tanker, a defining achievement in this country's maritime history. With 14 years of sea service and 19 years in strategic shore-based roles, he has distinguished himself as a master mariner, a commercial shipping strategist, and an institutional builder. His leadership plays a pivotal role in establishing NSML, Nigeria's foremost ship management company, and in nationalizing LNG shipping operations, creating sustainable career paths for Nigerian seafarers. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Captain Ahmed Hambali Yusuf to the microphone for his presentation. Let's welcome him, ladies and gentlemen.
So being a captain, can I take the shortest route? Because that's what the captains normally do, by adopting the protocol that has already been established. So acknowledging all the people that are here, including the Chairman House Committee on Maritime and my former boss, Kiri. The paper as presented is on creating culture, respect, building harassment-free ship through awareness, accountability, and inclusion. So let me start with a bit of a story. So picture this. You are 3 weeks into a voyage, thousands of miles from home. The person standing next to you speaks a different language, comes from a different culture and belief, and may be the only person standing between you and disaster in an emergency. In that moment, nothing matters more than trust, respect, and the knowledge that you have each other's back. Yet today, too many of our colleagues face harassment, intimidation, bullying, discrimination that destroys the essential trust. This isn't just wrong, it's absolutely dangerous. Let me share a bit of experience. This is something that happened to me during my career at sea. When the Nigerian ratings first joined the vessel, the chief engineer was convinced they were fighting because of how loudly and passionately they spoke in the alleyway. What he was witnessing wasn't conflict. It was culture, but his misunderstanding could have led to unfair treatment, missed opportunities, and a divided crew. This story illustrates a broader truth. Our industry brings together people from every corner of the world, but we haven't always done enough to ensure everyone feel valued and safe. When people feel valued, they perform better. When they feel threatened, everything suffers. So how do we build that trust and good foundation? It all starts with awareness. We all need to know what it looks like, that intimidation, and what we need to do to prevent it. Every one of us here needs to understand what harassment looks like, and I'm talking about harassment in all directions, Because sometimes we think the harassment is just coming from the top, but unfortunately, at times, it does come from the bottom. It's not always the senior to junior, and sometimes it flows upward in the hierarchy. Sometimes it is fierce to peer, and yes, it affects both men and women. We need training that goes beyond checking boxes, role playing, so maybe some dramatization as well, so that people will feel the effect of bullying and harassment. Real conversation about cultural norms, because obviously different cultures have different acceptability of even the way you speak. And honest discussions about power dynamics. So in the past, the captain is like the god on board the vessel, and people does what he says without questioning. When our maritime institutions prepare next generations of seafarers, respect and inclusion must be fundamental as the navigation and seamanship. Every ship must have a clear, accessible way to report problems, channels that guarantee confidentiality and protection from retaliation. Because obviously, if somebody reports and he receives some retaliation, the next person will not be able to report such situations. So we need anonymous helplines connected to show-based support, regular audits that take cultural climate as seriously as safety compliance. And this, I think, is the most important. When harassment occurs, the response must be swift and clear. We shouldn't be tolerating any harassment in whatever disguise. There is no place for the old mentality of boys will always be boys, or that's just how things are done. Standards apply to everyone, regardless of his rank or seniority. In Nigeria, this means our unions, companies, and regulators must work together. We must monitor how crew members are treated and handle grievances fairly and transparently. So real inclusion goes beyond simply avoiding harm. It means celebrating the strengths that comes from diversity. So where we have big diversity team that is working, probably we need to start showcasing them so that people will be able to learn from them. Think about the knowledge and perspective that a truly diverse crew brings, different approaches to problem solving, various cultural insights that can prevent misunderstandings in international ports, the innovation that comes when people from different backgrounds collaborate. For Nigerian maritime sector, this represents a tremendous opportunity. We are moving beyond our traditional male-dominated industry to embrace gender mainstreaming, scholarship for female cadets, and mentorship programs that ensures everyone has a path forward. I remember when I started some 30 years ago, in fact, the Maritime Academy of Nigeria does not have a single female cadet. But today, we have chief engineers and possible captains, probably this year, I think, we're on NSML. So the changes we need won't happen overnight, but they start with each of us making a choice. We need NIMASA to establish binding regulations with real enforcement. Our maritime training institutions must update their curricula to include human rights and social cohesion alongside technical skills. Shipping companies must regularly assess crew satisfaction and safety culture, not just mechanical system. But most importantly, we need each seafarer to commit to being part of the solution. When you see harassment, speak up. When you witness bullying, intervene safely. When you meet someone different from yourself, choose curiosity over suspicion. So The future vision, imagine a maritime industry where every seafarer, regardless of gender, race, nationality, or rank, can focus entirely on doing their job well. Where the young cadet feels supported, not intimidated. Where the experienced officer leads through respect, not fear. Where diversity is seen as our greatest strength, not a source of division. This isn't just nice ideal. It's business imperative in an industry where split-second decision can mean the difference between life and death. We cannot afford the dysfunction that comes from harassment and bullying. As we celebrate the Day of Seafarer 2025, I challenge each and every one of you to be a champion for dignity at sea. Whether you are a captain setting the tone for your vessel, a cadet training, learning the ropes, or a show-based professional supporting our industry, we all have a role to play. The ocean doesn't care about our differences, neither should harassment have any place in our industry. Together, we can build a maritime culture where every person can work with dignity, contribute their best, and return home safely to their families. Our ships are stronger when our crews are united. Our industry is safer when everyone belongs. And our future is brighter when we choose respect over prejudice, inclusion over isolations. I would like to end with this statement: the sea unites all seafarers. Let respect unite us too. Thank you, and fair winds to all.
Let's acknowledge and appreciate him once more, ladies and gentlemen. He spoke from experience, and he has set the tone for this program today. He gave us the reality we face concerning harassment. He talked about why this issue matters now more than ever before. Captain went on to talk about building the foundation for change, the role of all stakeholders, the role of the seafarers, and the role of NIMASA in particular. One thing he mentioned was the need for accountability. He also says embracing the true inclusion. And of course, he gave us a pathway forward. And closing, he gave us a vision for our future. Ladies and gentlemen, let's acknowledge and appreciate him once more for that wonderful presentation.
You're welcome back on the program. We're still here celebrating our seafarers, and we have here at the event the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, His Excellency Adegboyega Oyetola CON. We have the Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Dayo Mobiriola. We have the Minister of Labor and Productivity, Alhaji Mohammed Dengari. And we have a host of other dignitaries here at the venue. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
And thank you very much, Mr. MC. Good morning. Yes, still morning. I would please like to indulge us, if I can stand on the existing protocol. I'd like to thank NIMASA for gathering us together in one room, in this room, having such an important conversation and shining a light on such a very, very impactful topic, such as harassment on board our ships. I've been privileged to be at the helm of affairs of a shipping company as an operator for the last 11 years. At least I have first-hand experience, interaction, and opportunity to engage with seafarers on board, and then to have very close ideas on the experience of not just females or young officers, but just the seafarers generally and their experience. Today, the tone has already been set by our paper presenter, who spoke very candidly about first his experience on board, which I found, even though it was 30 years ago, sir, interestingly remains still relevant in today's world. And for the IMO to be highlighting this issue as a theme for this year's Day of Seafarer, it means that the statistics probably remain a bit concerning, and there's more that we can do. I think the work to be done as far as eradicating or eliminating harassment and bullying on board our vessels is work for all of us. It's not a job for the regulator. It's not a job for just the ship owner or the job of the seafarers themselves, but it's going to take collaborative effort for us to get to the point of zero harassment and zero bullying on board our vessels. My job today is very simple. Working with the MC who would also moderate is to get the perspectives as unique as we can get from members of this very esteemed panel. We have a lawyer, we have 3 seafarers on board, we have 2 female seafarers who will speak to their experience, and then of course you have my humble self, who's a ship owner and a ship operator. But I would say in my own remarks before I hand over back to the moderator that we cannot, leadership, intentional leadership is what will bring that change. It is the key. It is what will ensure that policies are created and that they are implemented. It's what will ensure that they are monitored. It is what will collaborate with the public sector to drive these policies. It's what will create the opportunities for the seafarers to bring feedback, and do something about that. So I'm looking forward to a very engaging. Please, whenever I'm on panels, I put away all the big grammar and the nice to say. We like to say the truth. So I hope that this will be a truth panel, because we do have key stakeholders here who will take, hopefully, our feedback and we'll begin to see some change. So once again, we welcome you to this very distinguished panel. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Let's acknowledge her, Madam Chair. Mr. Befun, she's made it clear. Yeah, they employ the seafarers. There's one issue about some people don't want to employ female seafarers. I'm sure she'll be addressing that one. Is she employing female seafarers? But before we go, I want to start from the very first, which is the reality we face. Do we actually face harassments on board vessel? And if so, what kind of harassment? Just share your experiences with us, Unjoku.
Thank you very much. So I would like to answer that question with the survey I carried out because of this particular event. I belong to Female Seafarers Association of Nigeria, where we just help each other, discuss issues, and promote the female seafarers, gender gap, and all of that. So we did a survey in line with harassment. I would like to just start with that. And one of the questions in that survey was, what sort of harassment have you faced? I have 30 female seafarers responding to this survey. And sexual harassment happened to be the toppest, the highest, which has 36.67%. Then we have verbal harassment coming as second. And then when I went further to ask what sort of, they should just describe the harassment they faced, it was surprising to see that a lot of stories came up. Let me just read 1 or 2 from the survey. Okay, someone said her captain actually came to her cabin with a master's key, opening the cabin door without her knowledge at night. And, I don't want to read through, but let me just paraphrase. She was able to use wisdom, telling the captain to go back to his cabin, that she will come over to the cabin to, talk to him and do whatever he wants. And the captain obliged. Then she tied the cabin door when the captain left. Then we have another interesting response here. Someone saying that her fellow crew grabbed her, and in such a way that she didn't understand, just grabbed her waist and all of that. And then she forced the person out. So sexual harassment is one harassment that is very prevalent amongst female seafarers. We cannot deny that it doesn't happen. It's very prevalent. Then we have verbal harassment, and other sort of harassment could be physical assault, and generally not employing female on board the vessel is another type of harassment that we'll be addressing. So yes, harassment on board is something that we have experienced based on the survey we carried out. I didn't want to just share my own experience. I wanted us to also see from the perspective of other female seafarers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. She shared experiences and she told us that these things do actually happen. So I'm just going to come to the legal aspect. As a legal practitioner, how do you think these things can be addressed?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. The issues as raised, she has talked about the harassment in one way of sexual harassment. But from the paper, from the key speaker, there are other aspects of abusive, which is part of it. Discrimination is part of it. These are all part of it. And then issue of color. These are issues that seafarers face. But the basis for which legally it is that the MLC 2006, as amended, has a provision for that. And it's quite clear on it. And then the guidelines B4.3 is clearly stated on the safety and what occupational hazards and all whatnot that will be. So it has harassment, and bullying has a legal backing. And this is what we'll look at. And like the guest speaker said, to my mind, I will just use the term, is a collective responsibility. Collective responsibility for those of them on shore, at shore, and those ashore, for each and every one, including the mining companies, to look at these regulations and see what they can do to ameliorate the situation. Thank you.
We're talking about having a harassment-free shipping industry in Nigeria, and we shall be taking one more before we come to the floor, if I have the permission of Madam Chair.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Regarding harassment is beyond the female experiencing sexual and physical or verbal. I'm going to say this based on my own experience. Harassment is from top to bottom, bottom to top. It could be like a senior or a senior personnel saying ill things to the junior personnel, thwarting the person's efforts, ensuring that the person, there's nothing good can come out from that person. That is harassment. Or let's say a junior personnel that has someone in the office that see him as a lord that everybody is afraid of. Definitely is going to act in a weirdo way, and at the end of the day, the captains or the chief engineer or the key officers will have little or nothing to say. What do you target? Harassment. Or how do you see from pair to pair individuals working or taking over from a person, and someone is saying, oh, this person did not do this thing, this person did not do that, backlashing the person. And at the end of the day, feeling good about it. How do you see it? I target harassment. You can equally say it as a form of bullying. Saying things, cajoling somebody is a joke, but it's not a joke. The person could just take it lightly at the moment so for peace to reign. How do you target harassment? Or what will I say in essence of somebody having a license? I'm using UK, I'm using Ghana, this one is using Nigeria. You are a nobody. How do you target harassment? I'm going to give you a very simple experience. A friend of mine sent me a link to apply for a job. That was the era where a lot of seafarers were running to Saudi. And I equally applied. And they wrote, Mr. Indefreke. And we went along with the interview and everything. Oh, you're looking superb. I love your certificate. I love everything about you. We're going to book your ticket, kiniko, kiniko. And at the end of the day, I had to readdress. I said, please, I am not a mister. I'm a miss. That was the end of the story. Oh, madam, we don't carry women. Oh, this and... It was a painful experience, frankly speaking. Waste my time, waste my data, waste my effort, waste everything I can ever imagine. So when we are talking about harassment, it's cut across, not just on board, even in the offices. That is the truth. It's just that I'm happy that this awareness is coming up. At least everybody is going to say his or her view and throw more light on this topic. So at the end of the day, we can address this issue once and for all and be a better country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that perspective. This indicator talked about harassment can actually be top to bottom, bottom to top, and different shades of harassment. Even funny jokes can be harassment. So the question now is, why this matter? Why does this matter now more than ever before? Because the IMO comes and says, my harassment-free ships, meaning it is an issue. If it's not an issue, we will not be discussing it globally today. So why this matter and what can we do?
Okay, so thanks for sharing your experience. It's really sad to hear that kind of thing still going on in today's maritime industry. But I'm just wondering, do the individuals have a line that they can call and have that discussion with the office? And if they do, what did the office do actually by getting that kind of report? It's important that once it's surface, you kill it. Because if you don't, unfortunately, if you don't, it becomes the norm. And certainly then we end up with people not feeling safe on board the vessel. And once you are not safe, and let's be honest with ourselves, ships are industries, giant industries moving out there. They make their own water, so there is waterboard. They generate their own electricity, so there is, what's it called, the knack on board the vessel. And at the same time, they make their own food. So there is a hotel on board the vessel. So big industry. And if you have people that are not happy, those individuals can cause a big disaster on board the vessel. For example, you bully a galley staff, he can actually poison people. You bully an engineer in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a channel, he can decide to sabotage the engine. And then you end up with a big disaster in the system. So it is in the interest of the company to actually establish a system where they can kill that sort of behavior on board the vessel immediately. So it would really be interesting, to hear maybe if you can have that discussion with the individuals to maybe if they don't have, then they should push. It's actually legal requirement now that the company must have that system. We call it an anonymous hotline where people can actually report without fear of retaliation. Thank you.
Okay, you want to address that? Do you have a channel to report? And if you ever reported, what has happened? Hold on, before you go on, I'd want to inform us that we are joined online by a lot of stakeholders across the globe. And for those of us who are very active in the social media, if you're tweeting, if you're chatting, if you're posting, please, hashtag my harassment-free ship. Hashtag my harassment-free ship. IMO wants to see it. They want to see that Nigeria is actually celebrating this day. Thank you. Go ahead.
Interestingly, from the survey, the people that responded also said nothing was done about it. And some of them said their company's policies were effective. But for me, for a process to be effective, you have to carry out investigation. And whoever that is found guilty punished, or the victim shouldn't be victimized, because that's some of the things we see happen. So from their responses, there was no proper handling of the cases. Or some, they were changed from the vessel they were to another vessel when they reported. So it's just different feedback for different issues. But generally, we do not have effective procedures to handling this harassment. And that is exactly, why we are here today, just to continue this awareness and to see to it that companies, their HR, put in place effective process to ensure that investigations are carried out and punishments are meted to anyone who is supposed to be punished. Thank you.
I align myself with you, what your submissions are, about the medium of channel, like Captain had mentioned. The East one is a medium, that's the international situation, for them to make a report. So you become an anonymous fellow to send a report to the network. Most of the times we know the backlash, like you mentioned. She mentioned, I've handled a case like that where the captain was saying the owner of the vessel has somebody who is like a spy on board the ship. And then whatever thing it is, what is these issues are issues of saying, somebody has carried away cargo to go and sell or whatever. Just acting as a spy against the captain or the other officers on board the ship. So these are issues. Then how do you believe, because the people on board are sure, which is the office, did not take cognizance of the report written by the officers on board stating this is the situation, because they believe that whatever report that is coming from so-called spy on board the ship acting is correct. That brings disunity. That brings a lot of issues. At the end of the day, in this instance, the captain's salary was seized. And then all his entitlements, he was not paid. Irrespective of the fact that he said, look, I am innocent. So the captain and all the other officers, the chief officers, they did not get their salary for about 3-4 months. Because they said somebody has lodged a complaint against them. Now, what is the process of redress of this issue that becomes an issue? And it took me a long time to bring them to board, because we have to go to court to sue for their wages. And that is when we were able to reconcile the differences. Thank you.
How do we create accountability and, of course, a vision for the way forward? Wrap up, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I'd like to also express my gratitude to my fellow panelists who have been very candid in their opinions. I think as a ship owner, listening to the seafarers talk about their experience, I can speak from my experience, and that's why I maintained on the issue of leadership. As the chief servant in my organization, I have a very, very firm and expressive commitment to the protection of my workforce, whether they're in the office or whether they're on board, and most especially my female workers. We have a very strong sexual and general harassment policy that cascades from the board level. So it applies to my directors, to my shareholders, all the way down to the security man at the gate. It's applicable to you. And there are consequences, and they're very clear. I'm also extremely vocal about my position as a leader on these issues. And I think that once your staff feel empowered, so that's part of the problem. Most of the employees, the seafarers, they don't feel empowered. If I feel empowered, then maybe I would communicate. Maybe I would trust that if I report, something will be done. And then if you also set a precedent, just like my legal colleague there said, of actually doing something about the reports that come on a very objective and fair basis, right, where it's treated. In fact, interestingly, Indifreke is actually a former employee of ours. She joined us as a cadet, worked with us for about 11 years until she became a chief engineer. She actually became a chief engineer on board our ships last year before she went on to become a surveyor with AB. So for us, she's an ambassador. And for her to stay in the organization and thrive and grow over that period speaks to what I am saying in terms of preaching. So I see this as a call to action to every ship owner to not just be concerned about the cash flow and the bottom line in terms of the financials, but to understand that the people who are on board are the ones who drive the emergence of that cash flow. Then coming on to the associations, we have a lot of associations. I'm sure if you start recognizing all the various bodies that are seated here with their presidents and secgens and all of that, we need to be clear on what are we really advocating for. Yes, whilst the financial welfare is important, this is a very critical point because you see, we're talking about things that affect people's mental capacity. Because if I'm constantly harassed and bullied, then I become a risk to everybody on board that ship, including the asset that you are advocating for that is generating revenue. So I'm calling also on all the associations seated here to say, as you design your advocacy plans, as you design your campaigns, your engagements with government or or private sector, you need to be clear that you're also putting in a protection, not just on the financial well-being of your members, but also on the mental well-being and ensuring that these policies are implemented. Then I move on to the regulators. And I'm saying that, yes, we have some policies. So preparing for this panel, I did some research to see what kind of frameworks are available. How many sexual harassment or bullying or such cases have actually even been prosecuted or have actually been considered very, very strongly? How many people have had their licenses suspended by virtue of being repeat offenders? Do we even have an avenue of saying, okay, somebody is being reported constantly on this ship, he just simply goes and gets a job in another company and continues his bad or her bad behavior in that other company? So where can NIMASA begin to harmonize or create a database or some kind of funnel that allows people to feel that there is a consequence, just like having a sexual offenders database like they have in America. Once you become convicted of a sexual offense in America, you just get listed on the database, and all your neighbors around you can Google you and see that they have a sexual offender living down the road. So my point is, if we breed a culture of consequence, because that's what actually upholds law and order. Where there is no consequence, there cannot be law and order. So if we know that there are consequences that are as far-reaching as even getting your license suspended, then maybe, people or, be more responsible, including the organization. So I feel that there's a lot that can be done, and hopefully maybe NIMASA takes this past today and being a theme, but actually saying, how can we set up a small working committee that begins to come up with actionable plans that we can now implement. So on that note, I want to once again thank my panelists. I say that let the conversation not end on this stage, but let us keep discussing this very important topic until truly we get to zero harassment and zero bullying on board our vessels. Thank you.
Once again, can we put our hands together for all the discussants? They did a fantastic job. Thank you. We're here to celebrate the seafarers who are contributing immensely to the maritime industry, global trade, the world economy, and our individual lives. And the contribution, it's immense, and it's something that cannot be overstated. So quickly, we are moving on to the next item on the program, which is goodwill messages. We have a lineup of people who are going to give their goodwill message, and permit me to start with the first person on the list, the head ITF Trust, Katie Higginbotham. Can we have the goodwill message? Thank you.
On the 25th of June, we joined the global maritime community in celebrating the Day of the Seafarer to honor the vital contributions of seafarers who keep global trade moving. This year's theme, My Harassment-Free Ship, highlights a bold and necessary initiative to promote a culture of respect and zero tolerance for bullying and harassment at sea. Shipping is essential to world trade, yet too many seafarers face unacceptable behaviors that compromise their safety, mental well-being, and career opportunities. Studies reveal that over 50% of female seafarers and many male counterparts have experienced harassment on board. This is a call to action. It is vital to the well-being of everyone in our community and the sustainability of the maritime industry overall that we ensure zero tolerance of harassment and bullying and provide safe and accessible reporting mechanisms. Seafaring offers a unique and rewarding career. At the World Maritime University, we are committed to advancing a maritime culture rooted in dignity, equity, and safety, where every ship is harassment-free.
Your Excellency Adeboyega Oyetola, CON, the Honorable Minister, Marine and Blue Economy, distinguished guests, seafarers past and present, ladies and gentlemen. It is with profound respect, honor, and dignity that I bring warm compliments to you from Nigeria's mission to International Maritime Organization. It is with a great honor to be invited to join you in commemorating the 2025 Day of the Seafarers under the compelling and timely theme, My Harassment-Free Ship. Let me begin by extending my heartfelt congratulations to His Excellency, the Honorable Minister, for his unwavering commitment to creating an enabling environment for Nigerian seafarers through the dynamic leadership of the Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Dayo Moberiola. Their efforts in collaboration with the leadership of the seafarers to improve welfare, training, communications, complying with objectives of the Maritime Labour Convention 2006 and other regulatory protection for our maritime workforce are both commendable and visionary. I warmly congratulate Comrade Francis Bunu on his well-deserved election as President General of the Maritime Workers Union. Sir, your election signals continuity and renewed energy in the pursuit of workers' rights and dignity. In the same spirit, I commend Chief Engineer Bob Yoso, the National President, Nigeria Merchant Navy Officers and Water Transport Senior Staff Association, for their steadfast commitment to professionalism, gender equity, and international best practices for their representation of our maritime personnel. Today, we stand in solidarity with the seafarers, the invincible backbone of the global economy, and reaffirm our collective obligation to ensure that every ship is not just safe and secure, but also respectful and inclusive. The call for harassment-free ship is not a slogan. It is a moral imperative. Harassment and bullying in any form against any gender have no place on board any vessel flying Nigerian flag or any other flag at all. It is our duty as a policymaker, regulators, employers, unions, and other international community to embed zero tolerance policy, effective grievance mechanisms, and gender-sensitive training in our maritime systems. Equally, we must work to inspire new generation of seafarers, particularly young women, to see the maritime sector as a place of dignity, equal opportunity, and sustainable employment. Let this Day of Seafarers 2025 serve not only as a celebration, but as a bold reminder that the future of shipping lies in the culture of safety, respect, and inclusion. Nigeria is ready to play its part, both at home and at the IMO, to shape the future of the world. Thank you.
Welcome back on the program. It's still NIMASA this week, and we're still here celebrating the silent strength behind global trade, our seafarers. At the venue of the event, we have with us the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, His Excellency Adeboyega Oyetola, CON. We also have with us the Minister of Labor and Productivity, Alhaji Mohammed Megari. We have a host of other dignitaries here. We have the Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Dayo Mobriola. Stay tuned on the program. I'll be right back.
We in the Abuja MOU join the United Nations, join the International Maritime Organization, join the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency to celebrate this day, the Day of the Seafarer, and also with the theme, My Harassment-Free Ship. We will work together to build a future of respect at sea, where every male, every female, every professional is respected for who they are. We are to raise awareness amongst everybody about the reality of harassment at sea. We just must protect the proactive industry action to implement zero tolerance policies. We must encourage reporting and accountability through safe and accessible channels. If you have any complaint related to harassment, feel free to report and we will back you up. And we also will work to equip every seafarer with resources required to navigate and to combat harassment at sea. Happy Day of the Seafarer to all the seafarers in the world out there, to their families, and to all that have enjoyed the benefit of international trade, which is promoted by the seafarers. Once again, my harassment-free vessel, my harassment-free ship. Thank you and God bless.
Congratulations to our seafarers and happy Seafarer Day celebration. The commitment by the global maritime community to celebrate you annually have always created awareness on issues that impact on your physical and mental well-being. For example, this year's IMO theme, My Harassment-Free Ship, reminds me of the meeting that was facilitated by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, in February this year. At that meeting, it brought together government, ship owners, as well as seafarers, where a tripartite resolution to have the Code of Maritime Labour Convention 2006 amended to include bullying and harassment. I must say, at both the Geneva Special Tripartite Committee meeting, as well as the just concluded International Labour Conference, the amendment was overwhelmingly adopted and approved. It is an outcome of your collective effort and team spirit. I must add, the Nigerian approach to contribute to the living and working condition of seafarers has always been a reference point to other countries within the sub-region. It is expected that this will be taken note of, especially as the country is vying for the Category C election of the IMO. On this note, I wish you a happy and a successful Seafarer Day celebration. I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us rise as I announce the arrival of the #1 seafarer in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, His Excellency Adegboyega Oyetola, #1 seafarer in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We also have the Honorable Minister of Labor and Employment, Alhaji Mohammed Megari. As we stand, may we remain standing for the national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The national anthem, please. one request. No man is oppressed. May we take our seats, ladies and gentlemen. The Chairman, Senate Committee on Marine Transport, distinguished Senator Wasiu Eshinlokun-Sani, and other senators here present, Chairperson, House Committee on Maritime Safety, Education, and Administration, Honorable Dija Buka Ibrahim, and other honorable members here present, the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, number one seafarer of Nigeria, His Excellency Adegboyega Oyetola, CON, the Honorable Minister of Labor and Productivity, Alhaji Muhammad Megari, also dressed as a seafarer today. Permit me to also recognize the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, Mr. Olorutola Olufemi, directors from the ministry here present, Chief Executive Officers of parastatals here present, the President, President General, and leaders of all labor unions and associations here present, the representatives of the Chief of Naval Staff, captains of industry, the great Nigerian seafarers, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to welcome you to the 2025 Day of the Seafarers Commemoration in Nigeria, with the theme, My Harassment-Free Ship. Today is dedicated to those unsung heroes. Without much ado, I'd want to respectfully invite the captain of MV NIMASA to please step forward and do justice by welcoming everybody. Join me to welcome Dr. Dayo Moberola, DGCO NIMASA, for his welcome address.
Good morning, all invited guests. Let me especially recognize our distinguished visitors amongst us. I will start by recognizing the Chairman, Senate Committee on Marine Transport, Senator Wasiu Eshinlokun-Sani, and his other distinguished senators here present. And I want to use this opportunity to thank you for your support, sir. Secondly, Chairperson, House Committee on Maritime Safety, Education, and Administration, Honorable Khadija Buka Ibrahim, and other honorable members present. And my dear supportive leader and innovative and visionary Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, His Excellency Adegboyega Oyetola. You are welcome, sir. Honorable Minister of Labor and Employment, Alhaji Muhammadu Maigari, you are welcome, sir. Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, Mr. Olorutola Olufemi, you are welcome, sir. Directors of the ministry present, CEO of parastatals here present, President and leaders of all the labor unions and associations present, the representatives of the Chief of Naval Staff, captains of industry, great Nigerian seafarers, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome. I welcome you to the 2025 Day of the Seafarers. With immense pleasure and a deep sense of responsibility, today, the maritime community has an opportunity to honor seafarers globally for their tremendous contribution to economic and international trade, powering the blue economy and connecting nations across oceans. This year's celebration theme, My Harassment-Free Ship, is particularly apt. It is a call to action to ensure that our seafarers feel safe, valued, and protected at sea, because the ship is not just their place of work, it is their temporary home. Therefore, it must reflect the highest standards of dignity and professionalism, fostering zero tolerance for harassment. NIMASA would continue, therefore, to play its part in ensuring that Nigeria contributes effectively to regulations affecting seafarers. We remain the highest contributor of seafarers in Africa. Our men and women sail on vessels in our domestic waters and globally. This will continue to grow through the Nigerian Seafarers Development Program, NSDP, and the efforts of our maritime training institutions. In the recently concluded 113th session of the International Labour Congress, held in Geneva, 7 amendments to the MLC 2006 code was amended and passed for the purpose of ensuring that key workers improved provision against shipboarding violence, harassment, enhanced access to shore leave and repatriation, and updated medical and occupational safety standards were improved by these amendments. I therefore call on ship owners, operators, and crewing agencies to begin reviewing their operational manuals to align with these amendments ahead of their expected entry into force in December 2027. In addition, NIMASA will continue to play its role by establishing clear policies and procedures for preventing and addressing harassment on Nigerian flagged vessels, ensuring confidential reporting channels for harassment, and thoroughly investigating and addressing reports. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a clear reminder to all of us, governments, employers, unions, ship owners, and civil society, that seafarers should not be left alone in their struggle. They look up to us to help them, fostering a culture of zero tolerance in ships to protect their dignity. I wish to express our appreciation to the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, led by our Honorable Minister, His Excellency, Mr. Adeboyega Oyetola, CON, the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, the Ministry of Labor and Employment, our sister agencies, the Merchant Navy and Maritime Workers, Unions of Nigerian, and all our esteemed partners and stakeholders present here today. And to our seafarers, I salute your courage to go to sea, and we stand in solidarity behind you all. A harassment-free ship is a cohesive ship. Happy Day to the Seafarers 2025. Thank you and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir. Can we once again put our hands together? Quickly, we move on to the next item, which is goodwill messages. And first, I call on the National President, Nigerian Merchant Navy Officer and Water Transport, Comrade Bob Yusua.
Good morning, all stakeholders here present. The Honorable Chairman, Senate Committee of Marine Transport, the Honorable Chairman, House Committee of Marine Transport, Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, the Director General, NIMASA, member of ITABLE, union member here present, fellow seafarers and cadets, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Nigerian Merchant Navy Officers and Water Transport Senior Staff Association, I extend warm felicitation to all seafarers, ship owners, and stakeholders in maritime industry as we commemorate this year Seafarer Day, 25th June 2025. The IMO have set aside this 25th of June every year to celebrate seafarer globally. This year theme is My Harassment-Free Ship. Promote a culture of respect and zero tolerance for harassment and bullying at sea. The theme highlights challenges faced by seafarers, including poor remuneration, inadequate rest hour, lack of collective bargaining agreement, CBA, harassment, bullying, delay of wages payment, and discrimination. As we celebrate the bravery, resilience, and sacrifice of seafarers who navigate the world ocean to keep the global trade afloat, we also acknowledge the challenges they face. We recognize the vital role seafarers play in our economy as well as the global community and the need to ensure the welfare and the safety. Seafarers are the backbone of the global trade, yet many face these challenges on board and ashore. This year team seeks to raise awareness about the harassment at sea and ashore, proactive industrial action to implement zero tolerance and policy, encourage reporting and accountability through safe channels, equips seafarers with resources and combat harassment. The harassment and bullying on board can have severe consequences for seafarers, physical and emotional health, leading to stress, anxiety, depression, and isolation, which are risky to the safety of the vessel and the crew. Type of harassment and bullying include physical harassment, bullying, verbal bullying, social bullying, electronics and cyber bullying, racial bullying, sexual bullying, tribal bullying, religious and disability bullying. Addressing this harassment and bullying are crucial for the individual seafarer well-being and vessel safety productivity. Many Nigerian seafarers face harassment, bullying from foreign counterparts, employers, mining agents, and security agencies. We have witnessed incidents where foreign seafarers harass Nigerian officers due to preferential treatment by employer and mining agents. This affects Nigerian seafarer performance and mental health. Some shipping companies in Nigeria do not comply with the National Joint Industrial Council, NGIC, or have collective bargaining agreement, CBA, in place that guarantee minimum condition of decent work and decent pay. It is on this note that we employ all the shipping companies to have individual CBA as stipulated in the NGIC for purpose of free ship. Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, as the regulatory agency, must ensure seafarers are protected from harassment and bullying. NIMASA and the stakeholders must join hands to fight this abnormality, considering seafarer impact on the global trade and their sacrifice. Shipping companies and mining agent must treat seafarer right and adhere to the campaign against harassment. We will not accept excuse of culture, hierarchy, and tradition. Seafarer are not commodity. We are workers, humans, and right holder. Every crew member, every officer, every manager must take ownership of this team. It is not enough to be non-harassment. We must be anti-harassment. The concept of free ship is integral to this year team. In this context, a free ship implies a vessel that operates without the burden of harassment, intimidation, and exploitation. A crucial aspect of this achieving this ideal is to implement the robust collective bargaining agreement, CBA. It is therefore our plea that CBA should be a prerequisite for shipping companies seeking license renewal. To reinforce this requirement, a marine notice should be issued to that effect. This limitation not only hamper the development of Nigerian seafarers, but also perpetuate a form of national harassment that undermines the principle of free ship. Free shipping is not complete without considering indigenous ship owner. We employ NIMASA to give qualified indigenous ship owners soft landing to access the CVFF fund. Ultimately, the realization of harassment-free ship requires a multifaceted approach to address the various challenges faced by seafarers by prioritizing the implementation of CBA, enhancing regulatory framework, and promoting compliance with international standards. We can create a safe, more equitable, and more prosperous marine industry for all. All this presentation of Nigerian seafarers will continue to advocate for the interest and well-being. I urge my professional colleagues, seafarers, to stay focused and be determined in pursuit of their career goals. I appreciate the ship owner present for their support and request that they establish CBA in their company, if not already in existence. I express my profound gratitude to God Almighty for being with us. To my fellow seafarers, I salute your courage and urge you to join us building the seafarer profession in Nigeria for better tomorrow. The union needs you. Your unity is our strength. To every Nigerian seafarer, we see you, we hear you, we feel you, your pain. We stand with you and we will not back down. Let every ship hoist the flag of justice. Let every bridge, galley, and engine room ring with this message. My harassment-free ship is not a dream. It is a right, and with our union, the right will be defended. Let's unite all seafarers and stakeholders. Please create and share the hashtag My Harassment Free Ship on all your social media handles. Thank you. Solidarity forever. Long live Federal Republic of Nigeria. Long live all seafarers, and long live NIMASA. Long live Merchant Navy Officers Association. Thank you.
Soleto. Africa. Aluta. I stand on the existing protocol. Sir, I don't have much thing to say because I'm a brand new President General of Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria. Because this is my first time that I stood on the podium before the minister and before the DG and before our honorable senators. You are welcome, sir. Sir, we don't have any much thing to say then when we talk about harassment, sir. I would like you to also do it that way, that let the agency you carry this campaign to the vessels. Because those who are doing this, perpetrating this act, are in the vessel. The campaign should be brought to the doorpost of the seafarers, not only on ashore. And it's a goodwill message. I don't have much to say because of time. I have to thank the Honorable Minister for you to put a good team in NIMASA. NIMASA right now under the leadership of Jambo, our brother here, is doing very well. Probably the Department of Labor, they are doing very well, sir. We need them to encourage them more, for them to do more for us. And there is a brighter future for seafarers. particularly when the federal government have already making moves to make sure that the national shipping line should come back to Nigeria. We thank you for what you have done, and we seafarers will always stand by you as a minister because you are doing a very good job in our industry. Thank you, and God bless.
Wow. A good one there from Comrade Francis Bunu. And he says unequivocally, NIMASA is doing well. I move on to the MD CEO, Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas, Mr. Philip Shebila. Can we have Mr. Philip Shebila for his welcome address?
Please permit me to stand on existing protocol. My name is Abdulkader Ahmed. I'm actually presenting and representing the MD CEO of Nigeria LNG Limited, Dr. Philip Shebila. And I read his goodwill message. On this day of the Seafarer 2025, which has the theme of my harassment-free ship, I would like to, on behalf of the staff and management of Nigeria LNG in the first hand, as well as NSML, I would like to extend my warmest greetings to all seafarers, ship owners, ship managers, and all stakeholders of the maritime industry. As we celebrate this important day, it's important that we recognize the critical role that seafarers play in keeping the global trade moving and economies thriving. However, we must also acknowledge that seafarers often face unique challenges and risks, including harassment and bullying on board vessels. At our subsidiary, NSML, we are committed to creating a diverse and safe working environment for all seafarers. We believe every individual deserves to work in a place where they feel valued, respected, and protected. To achieve this, we've implemented policies, procedures, and actions that enforce our zero tolerance to bullying and harassment on all our vessels. Our commitment to a harassment-free ship is unwavering, and to drive this, we have, amongst others, developed and implemented robust policies and processes that clearly outline zero tolerance to bullying and harassment, as well as the consequences thereof. We have also put in place mechanisms to provide support for those who experience or witness such behaviors. Providing training and awareness programs aimed at educating crew members on the importance of respectful behavior, diversity, and inclusion. Established reporting mechanisms to ensure that incidents of bullying and harassment are reported and addressed promptly. We recognize that creating a safe and respectful work environment is an ongoing effort that requires the commitment and cooperation of everyone both ashore and on board. We are proud to work with a dedicated team of professionals who share these values and are committed to upholding the highest standard of behavior. But it's imperative that we must go beyond just words and focus on actions. Having the policies and the procedures is good, but it's important that we intensify the implementation of the corrective actions so that we are able to achieve the set goals that we've set for ourselves. On this day of the Seafarer, we reaffirm our commitment to our crew members and to the industry as a whole. We will continue to work towards creating a culture of respect, empathy, and understanding on board our vessels. Thank you to all seafarers for your hard work and dedication, and we look forward to continuing on our journey towards a harassment-free ship. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Philip Shebila. He says establishing a report mechanism is great. having policies in place is great, but what is more important is implementation of these policies. Thank you very much. Quickly, we move on to the next item, which is documentary messages from seafarers.
And a proud benefactor of NSDP program organized by NIMASA. It is a call for urgent need for vessels to be safe, not only physically, but also emotionally and mentally.
Seafaring is a lucrative job. It's a very, very lucrative job, and it requires total focus and a lot of dedication.
I would say for the couple of years I've worked on as a mariner, I've definitely faced several kind of harassment, but I would say I have built a thick skin around it.
I do believe that we can live freely, understanding hierarchy, respecting others without having a toxic work space.
We have various policies that can stop harassment, especially like where I work. We have SOP on harassment.
Gender stereotypes. A lot of people talk about female seafarers like they are not working, they are just here for status, or they are just here for fashion, and that is very wrong. We female seafarers too, we have impact. Yeah, we agree that male seafarers too are working, but we also as female seafarers, we are doing our best, and we also want to do better. We promise to do better.
There are policies that will give the crew or seafarers a free mind to discuss whatever issues they are facing on board.
When we hear the word harassment, most times we narrow it down to sexual harassment. No, harassment could be in different formats. So you could be harassed by being pressurized on board aggressively, and you will be harassed when you're being intimidated on board.
Seafarers are going through a whole lot of challenges while they are at sea. Physical challenge, psychological challenges, emotional breakdown, name it. There are a whole lot of challenges that we're going through, coupled with the risk involved on the job. And harassment, violence, and oppression from superiors shouldn't be one of those things that seafarers will be subjected to.
Happy World Seafarers Day to all seafarers. Keep the ship environment free from harassment. A harassment-free ship boosts morale, teamwork, and performance.
A safe ship is not only free from accident, but also free from harassment.
We commit to promoting a zero tolerance policy to harassment. Every seafarer has the right to dignity, respect, and fair treatment. Walk safe and go home safe.
To fostering dignity and respect in the maritime sector. It is a fundamental pledge, ensuring our seafarers work in a secure, respectful, and inclusive environment free from any harassment. Seafarers undertake arduous, protracted journeys away from home. Despite numerous operational challenges, their vessel must remain a sanctuary where they feel secure and valued. Harassment is unacceptable for individuals so vital to global commerce. Indeed, seafarers are unheralded pillars of our global economy. Their dedication ensures the seamless flow of international maritime trade, delivering essential goods and connecting nations. Without their tireless efforts, global supply chains upon which our national economy flies would inevitably falter. In Nigeria, our seafarers are pivotal to national economic growth. They are a vital segment of our maritime industry, significantly contributing to the nation's GDP. Let me interrupt here. P.S. I forgot to mention you. I'm so sorry. That's why when you get a huge list of protocol, it's not quite
Very easy. So you're most welcome, PS. This necessitated the institutionalization of Nigerian Seafarers Development Program, NSDP, to bridge the manpower gap consistently needed in maritime industry. As a committee, we are resolutely committed to advocating for legislations, policies that will enhance seafarers' welfare, safety, and professional advancement. Acknowledging their unique challenges, it is our solemn responsibility to ensure optimal working conditions, superior education, training, and robust social protection. The My Harassment-Free Ship theme guides our focus towards their psychological well-being. We extend sincere appreciation to the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, for their persistent efforts in safeguarding seafarers' interests and meticulously organizing the important event. The dedication to elevating maritime safety, education, and administration underscores our collective commitment to this noble profession. Today, as we celebrate, we reaffirm our collective pledge to provide seafarers with immense support, particularly legislative intervention where necessary. Let us collaboratively forge ahead as government, industry stakeholders, and the broader community to cultivate an enabling environment where our seafarers can flourish and continue to make invaluable contributions to our nation's advancement. To every seafarer, we present diligently, who present themselves diligently at sea. We express our profound gratitude. Your odious work is recognized and cherished. Your resilience is truly inspiring, and your contributions are beyond measure. To those who lost their lives in the line of duty, may their souls rest in perfect peace. May your voyages be secure and harassment-free, and may you consistently experience the solace of a respectful and happy journey each time you travel. So I wish you all a harassment-free journey. Happy Seafarers Day, everyone, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. We can make it louder, ladies and gentlemen. The National Assembly committed to policies that will enhance the welfare of seafarers in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much, ma'am. So we shall be moving from the green chambers to the red chambers. May I humbly invite the Chairman, Senate Committee on Maritime Transport for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let's welcome distinguished Senator Wasiu Eshilokun Sonny. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, DMC. Our Excellency Khadijat Bukar, the Chairman of the NIMASA House of Reps, my senior brother, Honorable Minister for Marine and Blue Economy, His Excellency Adegboyega Oyetola, the Minister of Labor, Alhaji Muhammadu Megari, DG NIMASA, I think I'm saying Bombata. I'm sorry. It's like the light is not shining directly on the PS. So, but I know, you know that I hold you in high esteem. And for, you see, Honorable Minister, you may not know, your PS was my friend in the university. We went to the same school about the same time. So, other directors, the MD of Nigerian NLNG, our colleagues, I'm sorry, from the National Assembly, other heads of agencies, because I've seen the ES of Shippers Council. Yeah, good afternoon. Other heads of, I've seen other EDs, I've seen Badmos, Engineer Badmos and others. I've also seen Engineer Abba. All of you, good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. If I don't mention your name, it's not deliberate, it's just that I cannot, for whatever it is worth, be able to get the names of everybody here, but I respect you all. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Distinguished guests, esteemed seafarers, maritime stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure and deep respect that I stand before you today to deliver this goodwill message on behalf of the Senate Committee on Marine Transport. As we join the global community to commemorate World Seafarers Celebration Day 2025, this year's celebration is profoundly significant as it is globally dedicated to the theme, Harassment-Free Ship. Harassment has no place in ships. We acknowledge that seafarers endure long, tortuous journey on ships. Any added stress should be removed, and I hope that the various heads of like NIMASA will find a way to codify and the consequences for violating this harassment-free ship notion on ships should be codified and consequences stated. Seafarers are the silent engines of international trade, from transporting vital goods across continents to braving the harshest conditions at sea. They form the backbone of maritime commerce. In Nigeria, where the blue economy holds immense potential, our seafarers are pivotal in ensuring the continued flow of economic activity, employment generation, and national development. As chairman of the Senate Committee on Marine Transport, I want to assure all stakeholders, especially our seafarers, of the National Assembly's continued commitment to advancing legislation and policy that would enhance the welfare, training, and safety of seafarers. We remain dedicated to supporting institutions like the NIMASA in ensuring compliance with international standards and in fostering a marine sector that values professionalism, resilience, and integrity. Let me commend Nigerian Maritime Administration of Safety Agency NIMASA for its consistent efforts in organizing this important event and for its broader work in safeguarding the welfare of the Nigerian seafarers. Your role in maritime administration is central to achieving a safer, more secure, and prosperous marine industry. To our gallant seafarers past, present, and future, I salute your courage, your discipline, and your unwavering dedication. You are a true national heroes. As we celebrate today, let us reaffirm our collective responsibility to improve the lives and working conditions of seafarers and to invest in the future of the maritime education, safety, and innovation. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has placed the blue economy at the core of his agenda, emphasizing the modernization of ships, ports, and maritime infrastructure to unlock national and continental growth. He always advocates for stronger international maritime cooperation, especially in security and trade, to secure our maritime future and position Nigeria as a leader in maritime commerce. In essence, our president envisions a holistic maritime transformation, empowering seafarers through training, welfare, security, and legislative reforms, all anchored within a broader strategy to develop Nigerian blue economy and enhance its competitiveness in global trade. On this note, I wish you happy World Seafarer Day celebration. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
So the very first presentation will be going to someone who was actually invested over 3 decades of his life in the seafaring profession. He's been recognized today for being the first black captain to man an LLNG vessel. Let's welcome Captain Ahmed Yusuf, please. Let's welcome him. Captain Yusuf did a presentation today, Prime Minister, sir, before you came, and he spoke to issues concerning harassment. Let's clap for him, ladies and gentlemen. Today he was on hand to share experience for the younger generations. Photographers, Namona taken well. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, sir. The IMO recognizes the fact that you have very few female seafarers. So we will be recognizing the most outstanding female officer recognized for exceptional hard work and exemplary behavior. Let's welcome Ms. Louis Njoku Chukuma. Louis Njoku Chukuma. Louis Njoku Chukuma was on hand. She shared experiences concerning harassment. Today is your day of recognition from the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, appreciating your contribution to the seafaring profession. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you, sir. We thank you. The chairman of the House Committee, ma'am, please, we invite you for the next presentation. Next recognition goes to the most outstanding seafarer, recognized for exceptional hard work and exemplary behavior on and off board. Let's welcome Nelson One. Nelson One, please. Nelson, get luck. You step forward. This guy step forward too. He must be a very great guy. Congratulations. Bro, smile now, even if you not be Nelson. Congratulations. And please pass on the message that the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, one more, we still have acknowledge and appreciate him. Do we have Ridwan Fasusi in the house? Ridwan. Ridwan is the best student of nautical science. Congratulations, and step forward to receive your recognition from this ministry, Marine and Blue Economy, appreciating the young ones taking up the profession of seafaring in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Ridwan Dewale Fasasi. So you salute as you're wearing your uniform. Best student of engineering, let's call on Cadet Basi and Nefiok Okon. Oh, he's here, well dressed. Engineering. Those days for school, they go say that they do hard maths. The thing they had, that makes some of us run. But this guy is battling and is getting it well. Basi Okon, best engineering student, I think from the Maritime Academy, Oron? Yeah, from Man Oron. You know, go smile. Congratulations. You also want to have a privilege of snapping with the ministers because your colleague also did that. You know, not be every day. He's saying they come, he never need them. He won't go take this photo. Permit me to also invite the best rating nautical, Abiodun Adebayo Shogbon Sheyi. Where's Abiodun Adebayo? Okay, you have someone, please step forward to receive on his behalf. Today, where you supposed to get privilege to snap better photo, you know, one of the cadets, please step forward to receive on his behalf. We have the best rating engine, Allison, Jamaica. Abi? Best rating engine from the Maritime Academy of Nigeria, Oron. Allison. Congratulations. And the very last is the best officer nautical, Eriofolo Basil. Eriofolo Basil, are you in the house? Can you please step forward, one of the officers, to please receive on his behalf? Eriofolo Basil, please step forward. Can you please step forward to receive this one on his behalf? Give the guy up beside you, quickly. And as we prepare, we shall be playing a 3-4 minutes documentary speaking to how NIMASA has been working hard to ensure the interests of seafarers are well protected. That is the next. That's all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Seafarers are described as the unsung heroes. They work hard on board vessels. The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, under the supervision of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, is statutorily responsible for certification, regulation, and welfare of seafarers in Nigeria. 4,910 Nigerian seafarers have been placed on board vessels within the past 12 months, while 67 cadets were placed on board vessels during the same period. The number of seafarers who registered with NIMASA within the past 12 months is 2,897, while 408 cadets registered with the agency during the same period. The General Collective Bargaining Agreement for the seafaring industry has been put in place by NIMASA to ensure minimum labor standard wages in the industry are paid to seafarers, and 30 cases of employee-employer disputes were reported and successfully resolved via mediation by the agency.
First of all, I want to congratulate them. It has been a tough time for Nigerian seafarers. We all agree as an operator, we see how they work hard. So NIMASA has been doing well in terms of making sure they implement the policies, they keep that standardization. Seen it in many aspects of their implementing those policies. Actually, they have been very done well in many aspects.
NIMASA has continued evaluation and monitoring of compliance status on crewing of seafarers by seafarers' employers. The Dayomo Beriola-led administration has also facilitated free training of 200 seafarers in various relevant mandatory courses. The Nigerian Seafarers Development Program, the agency's signpost for seafarers' development, has continued to yield results. Out of the 2,476 who enrolled as cadets under the NSDP program, 1,791 completed undergraduate programs and placed on board ships for sea time training. Now, 979 of them are graduates with their COC. It is heartwarming to note that over 421 NSDP graduates are employed in the maritime industry across the globe. Training and certification standards in Nigeria. The agency has faithfully committed to the statutory funding of the Nigerian Maritime Academy while constantly engaging other training institutions on how best to ensure global acceptability.
The idea of setting up Charking Maritime Academy and Charking Maritime and Offshore Safety was as a result of being on board for inspection.
Today, NIMASA, under the supervision of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, celebrates seafarers, the silent strength behind global trade, the unsung heroes, braving oceans to connect the world. Our seafarers, our pride. NIMASA appreciates your sacrifice and service to the motherland.
A new dawn has come. Every seafarer who knows their honor should know that the union is there for them.
We all must work together to own up to that our ocean and make the best of the opportunity which is now.
NIMASA is committed to ensuring a harassment-free shipping environment for seafarers.
Day of the Seafarers 2025. Let's acknowledge the seafarers in Nigeria. Achievements of NIMASA under the supervision of the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, talking about capacity development. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not very common for you to have two members of the Federal Executive Council at your event. But today, they came in from the federal capital. That shows that they are committed to the growth of the seafaring business in Nigeria. We're talking of maritime labor. This is a labor component in the maritime sector. Please join me to welcome for his speech the Honorable Minister of Labor and Productivity, Alhaji Muhammad Meigari Dinga. Let's welcome him, please. Honorable Minister, sir, we thank you, because the labor component is the most important component in terms of production. Welcome, sir.
In the name of God, the beneficent, the most merciful. Our distinguished chairman, Senate Committee on Marine and Transport, Senator Wasiwa Ashinlokun Sani, and other distinguished senators who are here present. The Chairman House Committee on Marine Safety, Education and Administration, Honorable Your Excellency Hadija Abubakar Abba Ibrahim, and other honorable members who are here present. My brother and colleague, the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, His Excellency Adeboyega Adetola, CON, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, representative of the Chief of Naval Staff, Chief Executives of Parasectors here present, presidents and leaders of labor unions and associations, and I'm talking about our stakeholders here present, the DG NIMASA, permit me to recognize a friend and a brother, Mr. Bombata, one of your directors, who worked with me in the Federal Ministry of Police Affairs when I was the minister there. He was one of the few directors who supported us in re-establishing that ministry. I want to assure you that he's a very hard-working officer, and please take good care of him. I am delighted to be here in your midst on the occasion of the celebration of 25th Day of Seafarers. This gathering is a clear indication of government's recognition of one of the key resources of the maritime sector, that is our seafarers. Before I proceed, let me take a few moments to commend the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, and indeed its parent ministry, the Federal Minister of Maritime and Blue Economy, for their commitment to ensuring that the maritime sector in Nigeria operates in line with international practices, placing it on equal ranking with its contemporaries in more developed countries. Today, we join the global maritime community to celebrate our seafarers, men and women who have dedicated their lives to building the economy of our great nation through hard work and commitment. Seafarers are the backbone of international trade, ensuring the smooth movement of goods that sustain our livelihoods and promote national development. Their hard work involves challenging conditions, long periods away from loved ones, and the relentless dedication to safety and excellence. This year's campaign theme, My Harassment-Free Ship, is quite apt, highlighting the importance of ensuring safe, respectful, and inclusive working environments at sea. This theme is not just a bold initiative to promote a culture of respect and zero tolerance for bullying and harassment at sea, but a call to action aimed at underscoring the fact that a safe world of work is a haven for boosting maximum productivity and economic growth. The commitment of the federal government in relation to this theme is evident in legal and institutional frameworks put in place to ensure the safe working environment of Nigerian workers. As a nation, Nigeria is committed to fostering an environment that supports and values our maritime workforce. The importance of capacity building, promoting safety standards and welfare, as well as social protection, are key in ensuring a secure and conducive working environment. Furthermore, government's commitment is evidenced in the ratification of International Labour Organization Convention number 190 on violence and harassment. The fundamental aim of the convention is to eliminate all forms of violence and harassment in the world of work, including where a worker is paid, takes rest or meal break, or uses sanitary, washing or changing facilities during work-related trips, travel, training, events or social activities, work-related communications in the working place, in employer-provided accommodation, and when commuting to and from work. It also recognizes the violence and harassment may involve third parties and also individuals exercising the authority, duties, or responsibilities of an employer can also be subjected to violence and harassment. This is an all-inclusive convention which has been domesticated in our reviewed labor bills to complement other ILO instruments that Nigeria has ratified, key among which is the Maritime Labour Convention 2006, which provides a framework for good governance of global maritime practice. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to extend the support of my ministry in partnering with NIMASA, the Minister of Blue Economy, as well as all tripartite plus stakeholders to strengthen the maritime sector and by ensuring that the working terms and the conditions of seafarers are in line with international standards and best practices. We are all partners in progress, and it is our collective responsibility to ensure that we put structures in place for the common good and lay a foundation for an inclusive, equitable, resilient, and productive and sustainable maritime sector for our dear country. Finally, I wish to congratulate all our seafarers here present on this auspicious occasion of your great profession. It is my sincere hope that you will continue to enjoy more fruitful working years ahead. I thank you all, and may God bless us. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. The Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment, Alhaji Muhammadu Megari Dingyali, for that fantastic speech. The Ministry of Labour and Employment committing to collaboration with the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy to enhance the welfare of Nigerian seafarers. We thank you very much, sir. Today, we are celebrating the seafarers, and we have the #1 seafarer in Nigeria with us. Before he steps forward to make his presentation, he has given directive to the agency, NIMASA, to develop a portal to enhance operations concerning the seafarers. So we have 2 minutes documentary speaking to the portal that will be launched by our Honorable Minister today. Technicals, let's see the presentation on the NIMASA Maritime Labour Portal.
Welcome to the future of Maritime Labour Administration in Nigeria. Introducing the NIMASA Maritime Labour e-Platform, a smart, integrated digital system designed to revolutionize how we register, manage, and verify maritime labor services across the nation. For the first time, stakeholders can seamlessly register, renew documentation, and verify credentials, all from the comfort of their devices, anytime, anywhere in the world. The Maritime Labour e-Platform is built with efficiency and transparency in mind. It ensures real-time access to services, secure data management, and automated compliance monitoring aligned with international best practices. The platform's core objectives include providing a one-stop hub for all maritime labor documentation and verification, maintaining a centralized, real-time national database of maritime professionals and employers, generating accurate data for planning, policy formulation, and performance evaluation, enhancing regulatory compliance through automated tracking systems. More than just a portal, it's a game changer. This initiative is improving the ease of doing business in Nigeria's maritime sector by streamlining processes, reducing paperwork, and eliminating delays. It positions NIMASA as a forward-thinking regulator, leveraging technology to drive innovation and build trust within the industry. By embracing digital transformation, NIMASA is not just catching up, it is setting the pace. The management of NIMASA, led by Dr. Dayo Muberiola under the supervision of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, developed this portal to enhance the competitiveness of Nigeria's maritime workforce, contribute to national economic growth, and strengthen Nigeria's standing as a global maritime leader. The NIMASA Maritime Labour e-Platform. Efficient, transparent, secure. Log on today and be part of a smarter maritime future. Welcome to the future of maritime labor administration in Nigeria.
Welcome to the future of maritime labor administration in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, NIMASA is able to achieve this because you have the minister giving the political muscle to do this. Ladies and gentlemen, before now, Nigeria can't even speak in the international maritime space. But today, Nigeria is conducting an election to return to council. And the international community are taking Nigeria serious. This is simply because you have a minister giving the political muscle for Nigeria to go out there. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the seafarers, the welfare is being improved. Not just because NIMASA is able to do it, but NIMASA has the minister that has the political power, the political muscle for them to achieve what they are achieving. It is time to call on the #1 seafarer in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let's welcome our minister, my minister, your minister, the minister, Pioneer Minister of the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, His Excellency Adegboyega Oyetola, CON.
Please be seated. The Chairman, Senate Committee on Marine Transport, my brother, Senator Wasiu Esinlo-Sani, and other distinguished senators that are here, the Chairman, House Committee on Maritime, Safety, Education, and Administration, is Her Excellency Honorable Khadija Bukar Ibrahim. Other honorable members that are here, I recognize you. Let me say this, I must commend and thank the two chairmen of the National Assembly. One thing I've noticed is that there's no program that we are doing anywhere in Nigeria that they will not be there. I thank you very much. My brother, the Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment, thank you very much for being part of this occasion. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, I think the light is now shining on you, so they won't forget you. Representative of the Chief of Naval Staff that is here, thank you. CEOs of all the parastatals of the ministry. I have the DG NIMASA. I have the ES Shippers Council. I have the EDs of both parastatals that are here. I recognize all of you. Captains of presidents and leaders of labor union association. Isoleto, Africa, Aluta, Victoria, thank you very much. Captains of industry, great Nigerian seafarers, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to address you on this special occasion dedicated to celebrating the valuable contributions of our seafarers. This year's theme, Harassment-Free Ship, speaks to our collective duty to make every ship a safe, respectful workplace. Harassment and bullying have no place in our maritime industry. The federal government of Nigeria, through the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, is committed to enhancing the seafaring profession. We are prioritizing quality training by upgrading maritime institutions, expanding capacity building programs, and aligning our seafarers' education with international standards. We are committed to full compliance with the STCW Convention, including recent amendments mandating anti-harassment training on board ships. These steps are vital to ensure our seafarers remain competitive and globally employable. Additionally, the government is investing in seafarers' welfare through stronger regulation of recruitment and placement agencies, improving access to decent work, and collaborating with ship owners to guarantee fair treatment and onboard safety. We are building digital platform, that's part of what we are launching today, to connect seafarers with support networks and job opportunities worldwide, while advocating for improved working conditions through bilateral maritime agreements. The ministry is also actively supporting Nigerian participation in international shipping to increase sea time opportunities for cadets and professionals. We are also advancing the welfare and the rights of Nigerian seafarers. The recent collective bargaining agreement facilitated by NIMASA alongside industry unions and employers set a new benchmark for fair wages, decent working conditions, and improve dispute resolution. NIMASA continues to enforce flag and port state controls and promote Nigerian presence in global shipping, ensuring our seafarers are well protected and respected internationally. Today we celebrate you, our seafarers, not just for your labor, but for your courage. We pledge to continue building a maritime sector that values, protects, and empowers you. Happy day, all the seafarers. God bless the Nigerian maritime sector. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless you all.
I think we can make that a louder and a standing ovation for our Honorable Minister, who is changing the face of the maritime sector in Nigeria. The pioneering leading minister for this ministry. Thank you, sir.
It is with great pride and a deep sense of purpose that I formally launched the NIMASA Maritime Labour e-platform, a major milestone in our journey towards a smarter, more transparent, and efficient maritime sector. This is more than just a portal. It's a bold step toward digital governance, improved service delivery, and industry-wide innovation. The platform offers real-time data access, enhances regulatory compliance, and creates a centralized system for labor administration. I commend NIMASA for this forward-looking initiative, which aligns perfectly with our ministry's vision of ease of doing business, global competitiveness, and human capital development in the blue economy. To all stakeholders, I encourage you to embrace this platform and make full use of its capabilities. With this, I hereby declare the NIMASA Maritime Labour e-platform officially launched. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
His Excellency, sir, on behalf of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy and the agencies under the ministry, we cannot but appreciate your visionary direction, your guidance, your patience, and the desire for results and wanting to change and make Nigeria a better place through the economic sector of blue economy. So, sir, with all due respect, we are here as your children to recognize you, sir, for what you have achieved in the last 2 years, which is changing the course and the shape of Nigeria for better. We appreciate you, sir, and we like the fact that you put us on our toes at all times. And it's not personal, but it's for the betterment of the country. So please, sir, on behalf of all of us, we want to recognize you with this token of appreciation and say thank you, sir, and we look forward to you leading us to greater and better things for the country. Thank you, sir.
Now we'll take this picture. 3 lucky public servants will be invited to receive, like a key to the NIMASA e-portal, to be presented to them by 3 lucky seafarers who have the privilege of coming to receive a key to the portal from our Honorable Minister. Please take this picture. Okay. So, seafarer number 1, Ismaila Mustafa Victor. It's your day of honor. Please step forward to receive this key to the Maritime portal. Now God do them for you. No fear, no fear. Just come. Come and receive it. I don't say you dey fear. Now, minister, place you they go. The boy confused. First, I also want to call Kennedy Osondu Mbata, another seafarer who will be celebrating on the portal. Where's Kennedy? And Umogbe Alfred, please also get ready. Photographers, you can feast on this. Congratulations. Thank you very much. And thank you to our Home Minister. Thank you very much, sir. We shall be having tea break. I want to inform us all. May I humbly invite the ED Maritime Labour of NIMASA to formally move the vote of thanks. ED Mitajibil Abasa.
Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adeboyega Oyetola, CON. Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment, Alhaji Muhammadu Megari Dingyadi, Distinguished Senator Wasi Soni Ishilokun, the Chairman, Senate Committee on Transport, Marine Transport, the Right Honorable Khadija Bukar Abba Ibrahim, the Chairperson, House Committee on Maritime Safety, Education and Administration. We appreciate your legislative activities, oversight and support, which has been critical to the nation's directional and purposeful leadership. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, Oluntola Olufemi, our very efficient captain, under whose dynamic leadership we are all being rightly steered and navigated, the Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Dayo Moberiola. Kindly permit me to stand on already established protocol. It is with great excitement that I extend on behalf of the executive management and staff of NIMASA our profound gratitude to everyone here who has made the commemoration of the 2025 Day of the Seafarer. We are confident that the collective efforts of stakeholders, as demonstrated by the records of achievements so far and pledges made by policymakers and practitioners, alludes to the positive horizon which have projected for the welfare and well-being of both serving and retired seafarers, in furtherance of this year's theme, My Harassment-Free Ship. As we close on the activities and ceremonies marking this year's Day of the Seafarer, we are very aware that ahead of us lies the enormous task of ensuring that we exceed in delivering the expectations required for us to stakeholders in the context of our collective mandate. We in NIMASA are confident of achieving these expectations as we are awash with the required quantum level of support from His Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adeboyega Oyetola, who has provided us with the required arsenal and policy direction needed to achieve this. We also use this opportunity to extend our sincere gratitude to the leadership and membership of the Nigerian Merchant Navy, the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, who by all ramifications are critical stakeholders in this journey. In addition, we appreciate the President, executive team, and members of the Ship Owners Association of Nigeria, whose indefatigable efforts in the maritime ecosystem cannot be overemphasized. We acknowledge the continued support that has contributed to the milestones we have achieved and continue to achieve. Our sincere appreciation extends to the members of the press, the fourth realm of the estate, whose professional and positive projection and feedback on our activities has encouraged the fine-tuning and alignment of collective efforts for the good of the nation. We encourage you not to rest on your oars, but continue to do your good work. Dear DG, in towing the line of your unique leadership attributes, I would like to appreciate the collective efforts of the fellow executives. The harmonious relationship environment you have created under your leadership has ensured that collective efforts make achieving the set goals much easier and more streamlined. To the senior management and staff of NIMASA, you are a critical pillar and a platform which determines our ability to perform efficiently. We must appreciate your tacit support, which has been extended in abundance over the years. To all other stakeholders present and represented, we have, in one way or the other, supported the cause of the Nigerian seafarers. The want of time would not permit me to mention you individually. We recognize your efforts, extend our gratitude, and encourage you to sustain and increase the tempo. In saving the best for last, we thank our leader and our guide, His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for his unwavering commitment, support, and directional leadership in positioning Nigeria to achieve its full natural potentials and endowments. We are fully committed to the Renewed Hope agenda, which serves as a template for maximizing the country's potential and positioning Nigeria in its rightful place in the Committee of Nations. Lastly, I would like to thank our seafarers for the continuous sacrifices and dedication to their duties. This year's theme, My Harassment-Free Ship, reminds us that we celebrate the contributions of seafarers to the global economy. All stakeholders must also commit to ensuring that workplaces are safe, inclusive, and free from harassment. We are inspired by the conversations shared today and the call to strengthen policies and invest in actionable plans. Therefore, we join the IMO to pledge our commitment to ensure the growth and development of your course. Thank you once again, and I wish us all fair winds and flowing seas. God bless you.
My name is Captain Paul Ojinta. I'm a Master Mariner. I'm representing the Nigerian Station of Master Mariners. It's been an exciting moment here with the Day of the Seafarers. This is one of the most special days in the life of every seafarer. And with the team, my Harassment-Free Ship is very timely and is very apt. And with this team, it has helped to, re-energize the mariners or the seafarers and to let them know that, their ship should be a harassment ship. Everyone should be able to boldly say, my ship is a harassment-free ship. We have experienced in the past a lot of harassment on board vessels, a couple of times, not just harassing the female seafarers, but also harassing other seafarers. This harassment comes from all cadres of the vessel. So this should re-energize us and spur us to action to ensure that our ship remains a free harassment ship. Thank you very much.
My name is Engineer Sheyi Ademoiwa. I work with the Tetra Maritime, employer of Neighbor. We have about 750 seafarers in our pool. And today, being the Seafarers Day, is a great occasion to be here. As I said, I'm a seafarer myself. I'm retired as a chief engineer. And for NIMASA to have this stage, it's a good one to me. I'm also the president of the Federal Marine Fishery Technology in Victoria and the present alumni president. Whereas many seafarers have been trained from there. I want to say on this day of my harassment and free ship, NIMASA has been trying a lot to reduce the harassment on board. I know the global IMO, all other maritime institutions, they are watching us on how we work on this harassment at sea. But the good work has been done with policies, procedures, engagements. When you are on board, when you are being harassed, there are procedures from companies to companies. DPs are being reported to, and we believe we will get there. Just this, my harassment-free ships, a new activities of enlightenment has come up, that there will be penalties on harassment on board the vessels. This will be taken into consideration. However, I want to encourage NIMASA to carry on with this, turning up on this every year, 25th June 2025. I wish NIMASA and the seafarers a happy Seafarers Day, my harassment-free ship.
My name is Engineer Wale George Mishola, the Vice President of Nigerian Merchant Navy and Senior Water Transport Association Shipping. This year, Day of Seafarer is tagged as harassment. Harassment is a key in CBA, in IMO, ILO, and MLC agreements. It's one of the articles in the CBA which stipulate that no to harassment. We from the Nigerian Merchant Navy, we frown against it, and we ensure that all our members on the vessel, they comply, and no harassment from top to down, left to right. We ensure that the vessel runs on zero harassment, and we ensure that incidences of harassment is dealt with, is investigated, is analyzed, and the culprits are dealt with. This we do regularly as we do quarterly meeting with stakeholders and employers of labor to ensure that incidences of harassment is looked into and is dealt with. I want to thank NIMASA for this gesture, and I wish NIMASA will encourage other people, other companies who have not signed CBA to sign CBA so that the unity in the seafaring industry can be stronger. We can move forward, and my harassment-free ship can be established.
My name is Lois Njoku Chimechezoem Chukuma. I am one of the awardees of today's Seafarers Day, and I want to specially thank NIMASA for giving me this award as the outstanding female officer and being recognized for my exemplary behavior and leadership skills. I want to thank them so much. And this year's Seafarers Day themes my harassment-free ship. It tends to highlight the various harassments that exist in our workplaces. I have experienced some, and based on my communication with my colleagues, I have also heard about their experiences. Harassment varies from bullying, varies from sexual harassment, physical harassment, and the likes. So my harassment-free ship for me is a ship where everyone on board, or where everyone in the workplace, is free from assault, humiliation, free from any form of bullying, and everyone is accepted. Everyone is working in a safe manner. That is what harassment-free ship means for me. So I want to urge the seafarers, even the stakeholders, that let this year's theme resonate in us continuously. Let this awareness not stop. Everyone should take actionable procedures or actions to ensure that we have a safe space for everyone to work on. Now, for the company owners, the onus is on you to train your crew. There should be proper training on adaptability. People should welcome each other on board, regardless of the race, regardless of the gender, and regardless of personality. There should be, yes, I have mentioned as adaptability, then acceptance. You should be able to accept one another, and there should be continuous awareness, discussion during your safety meetings. Remind everyone the reason why we're here. We're here to sail the vessel safely, and if we are not mentally stable, maybe because of harassment, the safety of the vessel and the entire crew will be questioned. Thank you very much, IMO, for this beautiful theme, and thank you, NIMASA, for joining IMO this year to have a beautiful Seafarers Day. Thank you.
My name is Pastor Ridwan Adewale. I'm one of the awardees. I collected the best graduating student of musical science. I can talk about my experience when I was a cadet. My captain is more like a bully, but thanks to this program now, I can say there is more like a policy that has been implemented, or protocol that will be followed. I mean, legal protocol that can be followed in case of that kind of situation. So, what my eyes, like the experience I had, other cadets coming up will not have that kind of experience. Thank you.
Wow, we'll finally come to the end of the program today, and we've been celebrating the silent strength behind global trade, our seafarers. And the theme of the celebration, like we said earlier on, is my harassment-free ship. We hope and believe that our seafarers will be celebrated and their safety will be guaranteed. Thank you for being with us on the program. Until we meet again on the same platform, same station, same time next week. Bon voyage.
This is a GAF Multimedia production.